What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today I want to talk to you about how power lies to manipulate the powerless into doing things that power wants it to do for their own gain. They've done it throughout history. They've done it throughout my lifetime. They've done it throughout your lifetime. And all that happens is decades later, when the truth is revealed, we just go, oh, shoot, they were lying. Meanwhile, tragedy is what lies in the wake of their lies. It happened from all the way back in the colonial English days before America, before the Revolutionary War, before America was founded, when we were under England's rule and the king and all that good stuff. It happened during the Civil Rights Movement. It happened during Manifest Destiny when they were lying about the indigenous population and they were just colonizing and committing genocide. They were lies that led to the Vietnam War, the attack in the the Gulf of Tonkin attack or whatever it was. It never happened. They lied about Iraq when George Bush justified us going into Iraq, talking about they had weapons of mass destruction and mobile weapons labs. It never happened. We're constantly being lied to in order to be manipulated into doing things or supporting things that we should not support. Things that you know morally, you know in your heart are just wrong. We have a very good highlight of that right now going on in contemporary world geopolitics. When you're talking about Israel, they're saying it's Israel versus Hamas. That's crap. Israel is committing genocide against the Palestinian people. Last night, they bombed a hospital. They even sent out a tweet confirming that they bombed the hospital and then deleted the tweet. And then you got Joe Biden out there saying that it was a Hamas misfired rocket. Complete fabrication. But he's out there saying it. He also fabricated or repeated the fabrication that 40 babies were beheaded when Hamas invaded Israel and murdered civilians. The White House had to walk it back. We are constantly being lied to. And right now, we're on the brink of a major conflict. You're talking about World War III type conflict. And we're being lied to get into it. And it's not like this is new. It's not like it's a new pattern. This has been going on forever. And as Americans, we should use our brains to think critically about what's going on and look at history and stop repeating the same stupid mistakes. Because we went into Afghanistan. We went into Iraq. We murdered God knows how many of those folks living over there because of 9/11. And spent untold amount of money so that a few rich folks could get richer. Make no mistake, 9/11 was atrocious, horrible, but even 9/11 they had warnings about and they allowed it to happen anyway. Similarly, Israel had warnings from Egypt that a major attack was coming and they allowed it to happen anyway. Why? Because Netanyahu has gone on record and stated that it makes sense for him to support Hamas because then he's able to paint every Palestinian as if they are Hamas. And it allows for him to be able to exterminate an entire people without any backlash from the world, because the world would be like, oh, they're all Hamas. They're all terrorists. We got to kill them. My heart is in so much anguish when I see these videos of these babies, these children covered in blood, blown to bits, because of the indiscriminate bombing, attacking of civilians, bombing a hospital, and a Christian hospital at that, because it was a Baptist hospital. And yet, folks in America, labor people in America, people that are lefties, people that are pro-worker and class conscious, are supporting this because they're being lied to. And they're leading with their emotions instead of using critical thinking to try to figure this thing out. We are on the verge of something I don't think we want. I don't think we're going to want. In 20 years, we're going to look back and regret the way we thought about this. And I'm saying we because I'm speaking as if, America's going to regret their stance here. You can't be on the side of genocide. You can't be on the side of apartheid. You can't be on the side of the oppressor, even though historically you've been the oppressor. I guess I shouldn't be surprised because it's par for the freaking course. How many times has America not taken out a democratically elected leader to install a dictator who was hardcore right wing and would just allow American companies to go in there and steal the natural resources of the land, and we would allow them to brutalize their people? How many times has it happened? Quite a few. And yet, even though we know that they do this, even though we know, as a populace, we're like, yeah, we believe the lies over and over again. Whatever makes you feel good, right? I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed that I know people, good people, labor warriors, believing the lies that are coming in and being too lazy to look deeper. It's tragic. We have got to use our brains. America's been dominated by wealth, power, greed, and corruption since its inception. Every time working class people got a leg up, the owner class came back more brutally, and they lied about it. Even in labor history, you can find it. Look up the Haymarket Affair. Read about it. Read about the rando that threw a bomb at the police that they never found. But they murdered anarchist union folks who were fighting for a better life that had nothing to do with the attack. They murdered them. They hung them in a town square. They had a mock trial. Look it up. I'm not telling you any falsehoods. This is all real stuff that has happened throughout history, labor history. Power don't give a crap about none of us. They never have. When indentured servants and slaves rose up in Bacon's rebellion, what did they do? What did power do? Split the working class, ended indentured servitude, elevated poor whites above poor minorities. And that was the end of that unity. Because as long as we were working in the fields, rubbing elbows, suffering under the same oppression, we were able to find commonality. And we were able to fight together against that because we know it's wrong. But as soon as they split that, elevated one as the overseer class, there went that solidarity. There went that ability to possibly transform America, which wasn't America yet. Back then, it was still England. But the trees that would have grown from the seeds that were sown in Bacon's rebellion would have made America something different. Instead, when America formed, America continued with that same divide and conquer tactic. The power did. Poor people ain't got no power. We're just trying to survive. We're just trying to eat for another day. We ain't got no power. The Palestinian people, the civilians that are being murdered, wiped out, ethnically cleansed in Gaza. By the way, in the West Bank, settler colonialism is taking place. They're evicting folks from their homes, their generation homes. They're raising the area and they're building their own settlements. Some cat from Brooklyn, dude named Jacob, went into the West Bank, walked into some folks' house and said, "I'm taking your home because if I don't do it, someone else will do it." Look up the video. You guys got to stop falling for the okie doke. We ain't gonna get nowhere if working people keep falling for the okie doke. You got to be smarter. My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Remember, the fight's not left and right. It's up and down. It's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one teach one. Get out there and reach one. There could be no union without you and I front and center, and free Palestine. Peace.